Welcome to another RSR. Tonight I'm reviewing New York Red Bulls 2, Toronto FC 0 in match 15 of the 2022 MLS season. Toronto FC loses, but not as bad as the scoreline will make it look. They dominated the game. They had possession. They had shots. They had their chances. But Red Bulls, 2 defensive off switches from TFC, and they have a win. But to be honest, I'm not completely mad about the performance because Red Bulls play very similarly to Montreal, and we were the better team. Besides those 2 defensive off switches, we were the better team. Should have lost 2-1, drew. I don't think the loss was a fair one. I don't think this is a fair result, frankly. I think the scoreline doesn't match what really happened in this match for TFC, but we'll go through the goals. In the second minute, Lewis Morgan off the corner kick, basically free. Jaden Nelson doesn't even try to run in front of him and get the header. Lewis Morgan heads it into the net for a goal. The second minute, 1-0, is 7th of the season and 4th against TFC. Then, that's how it would go into halftime, 1-0, but TFC starts switching the pitch the other way and tilting it the other way. You would think, okay, they should be tied at the half. They aren't. Then, in the 56th minute, Luquinhas has a goal. Rebound, falls to him, chips it over Westberg after a good punch save. Over Westberg, gets chipped. He almost gets a hand to it. I'm not blaming Quinton for it. 2-0 in the 56th minute for the Red Bulls, and that's the way it would end. 2-0 for New York Red Bulls. Stats are as follows: 14 shots to 8, 4 shots on goal to 3, 41% possession to 59% possession, 359 passes to 521 passes, 70% pass accuracy to 80, 6 offside to 0, 18 fouls to 11, 2 yellow cards to 3, 0 red cards to 0, 4 corners to 4. Here's the thing. I don't feel that Toronto were the worst team in this match. I don't. I think they were the better team. Sadly enough, that doesn't matter here because they made 2 defensive mistakes. They fell asleep twice. They acted like narcoleptics twice. Jaden Nelson doesn't defend the header. And then the chip. And Westberg almost gets his hand to it, but he puts it straight into the mixer, or straight back to a player as well. But other than that, defensively, they played pretty well. They handled the press. They broke the press. They had chances. Pozuelo, Jimenez, Nelson almost tried to make it right. He had some good chances to make it right when he missed the header, frankly. He had some chances to make it right for himself. Had some good chances with some great shots and great runs. I'm not mad about the performance at all because this is what matters to me here. It matters to me how they handled this performance. Not exactly what the result was. It mattered about the performance. Because if we lost and looked ugly as all hell, and we go into Montreal, who play a similar situation, or we have Montreal come over, and they play a similar system as the Struber Red Bulls, I would be worried about the can champ. And I'm still a little bit worried knowing our defense has the propensity to fall asleep like a tired old man who's sitting in his chair, or he's walking, then he starts sleepwalking. Either way, I know the team's propensity for this is there, for them to just sleepwalk at times, and they pay for it. But when it comes down to it, that's what happened here. But Toronto, and I think Red Bulls are better at this system, but Montreal's the better team right now because Red Bulls have been dire at home besides the last 2 games they've played at home. But I believe that Toronto, I'm worried about the performance, and I saw a pretty good performance tonight. They should have drew. They should have won. They didn't. Things go that way. The scoreline does not explain it all. I'm sorry, it does not explain it all tonight. The scoreline does not show you what this match was. It does not tell you what this match was. Overall, Toronto played well. Red Bulls had 2 great They punished two mistakes, you know? That's all they did. Yeah, they pressed us back sometimes. They pressed as hard as they could. That's Red Bull way. They punished 2 mistakes. 2 sleepy moments. We got punished. That's what happened. And Toronto just couldn't score. Even though they had some good chances. Carlos Coronel stood on his head as well. I'm not mad about the performance. And I honestly don't think Montreal, Sebastian Breza is as good as Carlos Coronel. So I'm not as worried about that as well. It's at home. It's a 401 derby. I'm going to say this. I think with this performance, I do believe Toronto's going to win on Wednesday. I would rather have a loss with a great performance than a win with a shitty performance. I'd also rather win the Canadian Championship semifinal than win a somewhat meaningless game in MLS. Or just a league match. I'm not going to say meaningless, but, a league match. That we can make that back. We're still not far off. With Insigne, we make our moves in the summer. I think we can make that up. I think we still make the playoffs. I'm not saying this is the dagger. It's not. This performance was a great performance. We didn't score the goals. So what? If you play like this... Now, here's the problem. Toronto FC is very, very inconsistent, but it's the 401 derby. Their best match last year, ironically enough, or at least in the top 5, was that home 401 derby draw when Josie scored late on to draw it. And that team is worse than this. I think they'll be fine. It's a Canadian Championship 401 derby at home. If they get embarrassed, they get what they deserve. But they're not going to make it easy, I don't think. Now, do they lose? That's possible. Do they still lose? It's possible. But is this more of a Canadian Championship preview at this point? Probably. But let's be honest. This doesn't matter. The performance was good. We lost because of 2 mistakes that we got punished on. That is it. Red Bulls played pretty well. Nothing special. It's what you expect. And it's the Red Bull Arena curse as well. We improved from earlier in the season. Let me remind you, when they played in Toronto, it was a 4-1 loss. I'd say a 2-0 loss is better. If it's still going to be an L, it was an improvement. And it was a pretty good performance compared to the first one as well. They did not bounce our heads off the pavement, so to speak. We held our own. We made 2 bad mistakes and got punished. That's football. That happens. I'm not going to sit here and say that the score line is what the performance represents. It doesn't. That was a good performance. And if we could take that into Wednesday, I think we beat Montreal. And I hope to God they do take that into Wednesday and have the fire in their bellies to win that match. It's the biggest match yet. Forget the Forge match. This is the biggest match yet of this season. It basically tells you, do you have anything worth a damn next year? Or are we going to have to be in the position to somehow lobby them to change MLS Cup a year early if we do win it? We have to be in that position, but kind of like 2019, I kind of think we will be. But we got to see what happens. Do I sort of feel good about Wednesday at this point? Yes, I do. Better than I did during the break. Toronto had a good performance coming off the break. They got punished twice. That's it. I'm not mad about this match. I may be mad on Wednesday, and I may be overjoyed. Who knows? But for me, Red Bulls played their game. They punished us twice. That's football. We played a pretty good game as well. The scoreline doesn't tell you what this game was. That does not tell you the story. You had to watch it, frankly. And that's the way I see it. Man of the match for me, Carlos Coronel. Because he stood on his head. He doesn't stand on his head. He's not that good. We probably draw this match. We had chances. It wasn't like we didn't. We had chances. He stood on his head. Carlos Coronel. Man of the match from the Red Bulls for me, Carlos Coronel. Toronto's man of the match, Cozy Thompson. He was probably the best player on the pitch for Toronto. But I'm just saying overall, man of the match, Carlos Coronel. That stood out to me. But for Toronto, Cozy Thompson. That was the best performance by a TFC player. Cozy Thompson. I don't know why he was crying when he got subbed, because he played well, I thought. I don't think he should have been crying, but that's it. That's fine by me. He could be sad about it. He could... Maybe it was because he got subbed. Maybe he thought he was doing so well. He shouldn't have got subbed. That's football, though. So, man of the match overall, Coronel. TFC's man of the match, Cozy Thompson. That's where I'm going to stand with that. And there you go. So if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share some friends and family. All that great stuff. Tuesday is the next time I'll see you alive and a review for LA Galaxy versus Sacramento Republic in the U.S. Open Cup. That'll be a fun one. And I'll see you then. I'm out. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. Wednesday will be fine. Don't worry.